All right, we're getting teased by the developers. They've been revealing some small details around the upcoming Knights Templar Civ to do with the choices they can make per age. So, Feudal Age 1, we're just going through this. It's kind of interesting. Knights Hospitalier, I am intrigued by. So, they are able to increase the health of all civilian units by 30%, but also the healing from all sources by 30%. Now, for a start, this has some interesting repercussions because I want you guys to envision what would happen in a team game. Because in theory, it says all sources of healing, meaning it should work. The other thing that I was wondering with this is whether there's going to be a Feudal Age healing unit. If so, this could end up being giga busted. We've already seen how ridiculously strong feudal healing in general can be with things like the Dervish, the Imam Point, the Scholars. I would be surprised if this doesn't come with some form of healing. By the way, this could also be vile for like weird kind of funky outpost rush type plays because you can just do textiles on top of health, right? You're going to have like Gilded Villages level of health. Outside of that, Kingdom of France, another choice you have is the military units are produced 15% faster and cost 5% less gold. I imagine this is going to be partnered in conjunction with getting access to knights. So actually, like, not bad. You're basically getting like School of Cavalry with a very slight discount. Whether it'll be worth it or not, I'm not sure. I think anyone who wants to lean knights is just going to be a given, and it pretty much allows you to play French while playing Knights Templar. And then finally, Principality of Antioch, we have got melee units gaining 10% damage. This one, I feel like, is going to be better scaling later in the game because you won't get access to knights. And because you don't have a high base damage melee unit, this is substantially less valuable. But the thing you guys have to remember is we're partnering these up with different tech choices. So, for example, where the increased health and healing from all sources gets OP is the Castle Age choice. We'll get to it at the bottom, but first of all, Angevin Empire, the fortress and dock health increased by 30% is pretty snoozer. Not crazy about that. But I imagine this is going to become pulled together with the idea of getting Lombos. Might be worth it. I feel like it'd be better if you get your hands on the new Yeoman, which I have a feeling they have some sort of anti-armor component to them. Republic of Genoa is definitely an interesting one. So we've heard a little bit about the Pilgrims. There seems to be ways for you to generate gold, almost like a place of worship that you can set people to get extra gold is the theory here. A little bit, I guess, like a temple in Age of Mythology where you worship. This is going to be your chill, I don't want to do anything choice. A lot of people can go for this. Republic of Genoa should also, in theory, be pretty strong for the sea side of things. So I imagine they're going to provide a naval unit on top of that. Angevin could also have something like access to Admiralty, which would make a lot of sense for the Angevin Empire. And then finally, Kingdom Castile. This is the one that I think is very interesting to you guys. In conjunction with Knights Hospitalier, which has that increased healing source, imagine you combo this. Units near sacred sites gain 20% damage and regenerate health. We may have the new most toxic civ for King of the Hill. Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a crazy combo. Think about like King of the Hill as a repercussion. Your villagers can't die when they come to build like keeps on the ford. You benefit from building keeps anyway because you get things like increased attack range. And then you come in with the extra damage buff as well as the healing, which gets inflated by an extra 30%. This is going to have some interesting ramifications. I'm curious to see how also this civ in particular functions in team games. If they do right by team games and they create more stage maps, kind of like what Gorge has, where it's its own unique map, I actually think Knights Templar is going to be an insanely powerful support type civ with certain things coming into the picture, such as the Knights Hospitalier for healing, and also the Kingdom of Castile, where the damage buff in theory could affect your allies as well. Yeah, dude, oh my god, just imagine Kurultai plus Kingdom of Castile. I don't even want to think about it for a second. It's vile. Apparently, we've got also something else here. We'll use our good old Opera GX to have a look. Decline the cookies. So yeah, a little bit about the fortresses. This is what I was talking about. They have a bunch of auras coming in, and this is the one that I am intrigued by, guys. So it says, has an aura that improves nearby units' range. What does that mean exactly? Because here's my thought. And I'm going to move it up here so we can talk about the other details. Range could indicate that melee units can also get an increase in range. That would be pretty wild. I hope it's not just range units. It does make me reluctant to say they're going to have access to Lombos because I think this would be kind of toxic. Lombos plus range on a keep drop is crazy. But some things we have learned about it is the emplacements. We already saw the Trebuchet emplacement at work. If you guys haven't seen my previous video showing that off, it is insane. It looks like it can one-hit a Mangonel, which is ludicrously powerful. Sprint emplacements are kind of a given. Bowling all as well. Treasure Towers is intriguing to me. Excuse me. It's a little bit rough. I think that the Treasure Towers, because of the Pilgrims mechanic, we were talking about this being like a worship thing, but I'm wondering if it's like a mixture of worshipping at a temple, but also trade routing. If that's the case, treasure towers is likely going to be comparative to the taxation system on Malian outposts, where you add extra gold by traveling. I think that's what we might be looking at here. Outside of that, like treasure towers, it almost feels like something you should get value out of killing, but like that's a negative. You want this to be a positive for the Civ to build. And then finally, desert citadels. I'm not really sure what to expect out of desert citadels. Probably something to do with health, same with iron clamps. I feel like these two are going to be something related to tankiness. Iron clamps just sounds like it's going to be someone that makes the structures more rigid, so expect something a little bit like reinforced defenses, where the HRE gets the extra fire armor and armor. Desert citadels almost feels like the same, where it's like wear and tear in the desert where you should be safe. It could be that this actually gives like an increased buff to the aforementioned ranged aura that we're being teased about here. Other interesting thing, look at the levels. You can build these in Feudal Age. Now that is interesting to me. I imagine they cannot have firepower in them by default in Feudal, right? That would be kind of crazy. We did see clips earlier where these were also embedded in walls. Don't expect it to be a case they chain into the walls, but there is interesting things with the shapes of like these type of structures where you can theoretically push your stone walls from angles to body block people running beyond them. So you can kind of use them as part of your wall defense. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about this. I think this is all the info we got so far. What do you think we're seeing from Imperial Age? I am still not seeing the Venetians, and they were clearly referenced by the boat. So I think we're going to get Venetians as one of the Imperial Age options. There is also no representation so far for the Polish. So that's 2 of the 3. What is the final one in Imperial Age we're expecting to see? Because this is already fulfilling the tick in the box for the idea of the Javelin Cavalry for the Kingdom of Castile. Republic of Genoa, I think, is going to have something boat-oriented as well. Like we said with Angevin, it's probably going to be to do with the archers. Knights Hospitalier, we already saw them. They're the hooded black figures. It looks like they're going to be not as tanky as standard men-at-arms, but a little bit quicker. Kingdom of France is likely going to be the French Knights. I'm still not sure about Principality of Antioch, though, guys. In fairness, there is a lot of melee units that we've been seeing in the teasers for the Knights Templar, so maybe an extra one there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. I think this is long enough for a video to upload to YouTube, and I'll catch you all in the next chapter.